Good morning. This is the Melodic Investor. My name is Antoine, and I just wanted to come on and share a couple things and some thoughts this morning. I don't know, mornings sometimes are like the good time that really get your thoughts off. But at any rate, please like and subscribe and share this content if you enjoy it. Excuse me. Morning's also the time where your voice isn't woken up yet. But anyway, just wanted to come on and share some thoughts about. I was listening to Dion talk. He is another person that I've followed over the years, and highly recommend you go watch and support his channel. But he was talking about what he had to do to start his investing journey and how he was able to buy his first rental property, and he had to get very creative. One of the ways he did it was he moved out of his home and rented it out, moved him and his, I think he said 2-3 kids, something like that. I don't know if he said how many, but moved out and then moved into an apartment and did that for 2 years, right? Where he rented out. And the reason why he did that was because that he wanted to, sorry, let me fix my orientation here. He did that because he wanted to show rental income on his tax returns. That way, when you show rental income on your tax returns, there's something called the Schedule E that you get. And after 2 years, they consider you like a professional. And they can use some of the income from your, I think 75% of the rents to help you qualify for your next purchase. So that's another hack there. Again, I may not have all the details right, but it's something like that to that extent. I'm not a tax professional, but you need to ask them, and they can kind of guide you along. But the two people I would ask is definitely to have in your back pocket a home lender of some sort. I think credit unions are great. If you can establish a relationship with them, you should. Two, have a tax professional. That way you can consult and the two can work in tandem, and that way you have, because you're going to need those people for financing, and they're going to help you better your chances, because how they work in tandem is your tax professional, if you're letting them know that, hey, I don't want to show too many write-offs because it's going to lower my taxable income. Well, when you lower your taxable income, that means that you didn't make as much money, so you may not qualify on the lending side. They may say, well, you don't make enough money. So that's, again, getting off track here, but that's another video for another time. But just to tie that out, if you don't make enough, then you won't qualify for the loan, then you can't get the financing for the house. So you got to be careful with that. It's a fine balance. You know, it just depends. Sometimes you want to take your hit up front. Sometimes you probably best to wait a little bit, you know, and kind of see how things play out depending on what you have planned for that year. Because I've seen some people go crazy with the write-offs, and then what they don't tell you is when you go to file your taxes, it looks like you didn't make any money. And then who wants to loan someone anything when you don't have any money to pay that back? Even though you know you made money, you know, but you're just not going to realize those losses. So, or you're realizing all those losses. So just be careful with that, because it is a fine balance. It's stuff they don't really educate you on. But anyway, my point in going back to Dion Talk is that he did something that was, most people would say is extreme, or maybe like, you know, aggressive or whatever. But in this economy especially, you have to take some chances, and not even a chance, I wouldn't even call it a chance, but you got to take some risk. You can't have the best of both worlds. Risk is involved, and moving out and the uncertainty, moving you and your kids out into an apartment, out of your home, it's something similar to my story. What I did, my wife and I, we wanted to get into real estate, couldn't seem to make it work in our home. And here's another little quick tip. The reason why I didn't do what Dion did, because for my years in property management, for those of you who do not know, I have 20 years in the business. I've done 10 strictly on the multifamily side, and then I'm almost, just about at 10 years on the commercial side. That being said, I knew that the type of house that I had wouldn't make a good rental because it was just too much to maintain, especially at a big yard. And it was just a lot of house to be able to maintain. And I wasn't confident enough in the systems that were in place, your plumbing, electrical, heating, all of those types of things. So that's something you need to take into consideration if you're going to implement this strategy, is to make sure that the house that you're moving out of is something that is manageable, meaning you don't want the plumbing call at 2 a.m. or you don't want the pipes bursting if you have old system, galvanized piping, plumbing. Those are things that I personally would look at. If your house is in a planned community, maybe it's a little bit newer, those, in my opinion, would be a safer bet, especially for someone just starting out with your very first rental or turning your primary residence into a rental. Not all of them will be good, especially if they're a lot to manage. And because you live there and maybe you don't do everything. Well, if you're not doing everything, what makes you think a tenant's going to do everything? So, if it's an easy, I would say, and some of these could be hard, but it just depends on the layout. So only you can make that decision. But anywhere from 12 to 1,400 square feet, maybe 1,600 square feet, maybe a little bit easier for rental than anything beyond that. Didn't make it a little complicated. I'm not saying that you can't do it or you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that you need to know what condition your place is in before you take that leap, because that is a big leap, and you don't want your first one while you're renting an apartment with your family to be your to create too many issues. But anyway, I moved out and decided to sell my house because I realized that it just wasn't a good rental for me, and I could better use that money to go buy a duplex, which is what I did. Go buy a duplex and fix it up and do all that good stuff. So get creative, stretch yourself. Like I've always said in a lot of my videos, that, and this is not sounding an alarm as much as it is like it's time to go, time to get in gear, because like I always say, you have to put food on the table. You got to keep the lights on. It's all on you, and to do for your family. So in order to do that, we got to get our financial house in order. No politician's going to do that. That's not something you can vote in. You have to be the hero of your own story, period. You have to take responsibility for your wins and losses. Most people like to talk about the wins, but you do lose at this business and this game. Just in life in general, you take some L's, but you get back up and keep moving forward. But chase your dreams, go hard after them, because this is the time. You only get one life. This is it. There ain't no coming back from this. So if there's something that you have aspirations to do or achieve, go do it. There shouldn't be anything in your way holding you back. Get after it. I know I am. Part of that is even starting this YouTube channel, is really trying to do something that's out of my normal, something that I'm not necessarily totally comfortable with. I'm getting better with it, but just do it. I've talked to people and say, well, it's hard or this and that. Well, life's hard. Once you get over the hard part, you got to go to work. There's nothing you could do. There is no easy button. You have to do the work constantly. You have to watch your market constantly. And then after you secure a rental, you can't just stop. Like, you can't just take your foot off the gas. You know, most people are saying now the goal is to just get to 4 to 5. If you can get to 4 to 5 properties, you will have a much better retirement than anyone who does not have anything. You know, so right now is the time we got to walk and chew gum. You know, if you're working and you have an employer match in your 401k, contribute up to the match. So if they contribute 3%, you go up to 3%. Don't go beyond the match and then pay. Of course, we're paying down our debt, right? Saving for a down payment, doing what you got to do to make this thing happen. Investing in the market, stocks, I don't care what it is. We just got to go. This is sense of urgency because time is now, and it's not getting easier. The wealth gap is growing at a very alarming rate, which is why you have all these, politicians. And again, I'm not trying to be political. This is not a political channel, but it does intersect with a lot of what we do on a day-to-day basis, and it controls our lives. So we just need to be conscious of that and being informed about, things that are happening, policies that are changing right in front of us, and make sure we're voting our interests. I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys are doing well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and support the channel, and take care.